Trent, 2 years ago, England used you in midfield for the first time, and your manager at the time had some choice words about it and said, why would you make the best right back in the world a midfielder? Things have changed a bit from then, but there are kind of so many midfield roles, isn't there? There's the holding midfield role, there's a number 8, there's a number 10 a little bit further forward. When you're playing midfield, what do you consider your best of those options?
I mean, I would say, probably a mixture of everything. I think there's different ways of playing. There's different systems. It's not specifically about a 6, 8 or 10. It's about how they combine together, how they interchange, and how you link with the rest of the team. So I would say, the role I've been given is more of a freedom, kind of on that right side, go where the space and where you feel is best. And I think just try and get on the ball as much as possible. Still early days. I haven't had too much experience in there, so I would still learn on the job and try and pick up as much as I can when I do spend time in there. Obviously with the club, I spend a lot of time in there with the ball, as opposed to without. And here it's a little bit of a different role, so it's exciting. I enjoy learning. I enjoy, having that kind of understanding of the game, trying to understand different roles and positions, and admire what people are doing out there. And I would say I get that from playing in the middle of the pitch.
Good man, thank you.
Okay, and to Trent, I know he's sat next to you, but what has Gareth said to you about your midfield role and future in that position for England?
Yeah, just initially that there would be opportunities in there for me, and then it's on to me whether I take them or not. So that's all I can really ask for, and that's all any player really wants. And I speak to obviously the manager and Steve, like I do at a club. We sit down, we talk about football, we watch clips, we go through games, and I try and get the best kind of understanding of what I'm asked to do and how I can help the team win games. That's all any player ever wants, is to try and help the team win games and being as effective as possible on the pitch. So I try and do that to the best of my ability, and the messaging I've got from the manager is to go and do that in the best way possible, and get on the ball and do that.
And last time out against Malta, you had the number 10 on your back and scored, but just how much does it excite you, the prospect of that new journey and being a midfielder for England?
Massively so. It's something that I think about often. It's something that motivates me when I'm here, when I'm not here. I'm constantly thinking about trying to get into the team for the summer, how I can do that, and how I can take the opportunities that I'm given and make sure that I'm part of the plans for the summer. And a big part of them plans specifically, it's a target I've kind of set for myself, and I think with the help of the manager, the staff, the analysts, the guys that help players, and the conversations and learning as much as possible, I think it's something that I can go and do.
For you, Trent, how were those conversations about going into midfield? How excited are you, hopefully, to be named in it soon? Because I think England fans are desperate to see you in that lineup. And how has the last few years shaped you as a player, being left out of the camp, the conversations that you've had with Gareth, and now everyone absolutely back to raving about not just one position, but positionally what you could provide for an England team at a major tournament?
Yeah, I think for me, I think no matter what, I've always the impression you learn more from the difficult situations you go through in life, and also as a football player. It's the hard times that teach you the best lessons, and yeah, there has been difficult moments with throughout, but you persevere to get them opportunities, and it's always been an honour and a pleasure to come to England and to be able to play games for me country and represent my country is the biggest honour that any player can have. It truly is, and I feel that every time I step onto camp. And I think definitely since we spoke, me and the manager in the summer, about a midfield opportunity and trying to see and trying to see if we can make it work and how that could potentially look. There's been a definite newfound excitement for me. It's a huge opportunity, and it's one that I'm grateful to have, but also want to make sure I take it. So those opportunities are very good for me.
Thanks, Kerry.
Question for Trent. Trent, if you playing as a midfielder, did you ever reach out to Steven Gerrard for advice, just in terms of learning about the role? And if not, have you reached out to anyone else for advice?
No, is the answer to that. No, there's absolutely shed loads of footage on his games, on his career. But it's not I think football's changed since that era as quick as it has. Maybe we're talking 15 years ago. But football's changed. It's a completely different game. But I study football. I watch a lot of football. I have a deep love for the game and a thirst for knowledge surrounding it. So I think it's an obsession for me. I love watching it. I'm intrigued by it. I watch every game that's available on the TV, and I study it. And it's probably a different era now, but you always appreciate the greatness that players like him and others gave to the game, and probably changed the game at the time and helped it move forward in a way, in its physicality, and it's the way it was perceived from generation to generation. He was a big part in moving it forward for players like me to go and express myself.
Thanks, Trent.